Was there ever an element when you started your career, or were the points of your career where people were like, oh, but she's just Amir Khan's wife. That's how she gets to, like,
100%.
pretend to be the boss, but she's not really.
A lot of people, I'm sure, attribute all my success to Amir, thinking like, obviously being Amir's wife or ex-wife, she is able to have. There's no denying the fact that I have had opportunity by knowing Amir and, having access to him and being able to share my script with him for Dhobi Ghat and things like that. But most people will assume that he did it only because I was his wife, and not because he loved the film and
he saw
wanted to
merit
be
in
it.
it.
Yeah, they don't see merit in it. So yeah, I got kind of accustomed to that. That actually doesn't bother me that much anymore. I kind of it used to bother me before people even said anything, because I used to doubt whether he really liked it enough and was doing it because I was his wife. But Amir is, as anybody who knows him will tell you, he's kind of very clear about the fact that, listen, we can do a lot of stuff together because we're friends or family, but don't make me do work for you because we're friends or family. I won't do it unless I really believe in the project. So even Imran's film, for instance, Jaane To Ya Jaane Na, he did because he genuinely loved that film, not just because he wanted to launch Imran, So it feels like, it's still one of those things that rankles. It feels a bit unfair, but I know why people must feel that, because, anyone who has access to a huge star, it is an advantage that very few people have, and I'm very grateful for it. I'm super privileged. I say that before anything else, that I'm like super, super privileged.
So, I remember when we sort of heard about you, and everybody was like, who? What does she look like? What does she look like? There was a lot of that, right? And you're not the cookie cutter star wife.
No.
And everybody's like, wait, hang on, what? And what I love about it is you've stayed that way. You've not let it sort of fundamentally change who you are, at least from the outside. I mean, but you have a very different family. You come from a different background as the rest of the sort of, the film setup, let's say. What was that like?
The good thing was there was no social media then when Amir and I started dating, 2004, well before Facebook was invented. Wasn't it? Like, I don't remember actually. Maybe Facebook was around, I don't know.
There was something called Orkut for a while.
So, no, but I remember going to a Goa film festival with Amir and passing a lady in the line, and she looked at me and she was like, oh, you're not bad looking. So I was like, shit, not like the photos in the paper, you're not bad looking. So I was like,
that. That's
like that. Oh, you're not too bad. Like, everyone, it seemed like people in the newspaper was like, ye chashmish. Like, one of the people I remember saying, oh, she wears glasses, so she must be intelligent. That was cool.
I used to wear glasses then. I felt very sane thanks to you, baby.
Yeah. So, curly hair, glasses, it was not the norm, and still isn't, I guess. But that luckily didn't bother me, because it didn't bother Amir. Amir was least concerned with what people said, and that was what sort of I felt as well. Because, I mean, the second your partner expects you to sort of adopt or conform to all these sort of standards.
Was there an element for you of, this is who I am not changing me. Everybody else is just going to have to get used to it because I'm here.
Yeah. I mean, on some level, Faye, when I try to think of that time, it was in some ways quite confusing, because I brought up pretty simply, a middle-class girl, didn't have like so many clothes to go to all these events, and people were, I would suddenly be going, I hadn't been abroad that much, so to go travel international, first class, learn how to, do all my seatbelt over my blanket and all this for the first time. And then when I traveled, we'd go to these fancy, designer stores. I'd just look at those prices and be like, I cannot buy this jacket. I will never buy this jacket, To obviously slowly, getting a couple of things that I would like. But I suppose what happened over time was like, I, at one point, thought I should wear a lot more designer clothes so that it would be acceptable in a certain kind of event. So I went through a phase of like sort of, wanting perhaps to be slightly more well-dressed. But I couldn't keep it up for very long. It just wasn't me. I mean, I feel, brands top to toe, just they wear you instead of you wearing them, really. It's like literally it wasn't, I just couldn't do it. And I reverted to a nice middle ground where I was comfortable to wear whatever I wanted to wear. And I think that helped. It helped me, I suppose, also for people to know who I was. I was genuinely not an actor. I was like, listen, I'm a worker bee, Baba. I'm not here to be glamorous. I want to make films. I do production. I'm an AD. I run around like 24/7. I'm not going to wear Louboutin heels everywhere I go, So I think people got used to it. And more than that, I got accustomed to the idea that, listen, honestly, you're not going to ever be that person.